Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel Legal Decipher. In the previous video we had discussed about the offences relating to marriage under chapter 20 and 20A of the IPC. If you have not seen that video, you can go and check it. The link is in the description below. In this video we will discuss about the offences relating to defamation and understand the substance therein. So if you are new here, please like and subscribe to my channel to get the video notifications. So let's get started. So today we are going to discuss about chapter 21, which deals with the offense of defamation. So what is defamation? Defamation is the offense of insulting a person in a way that is mentioned in section 499. So let's read this section to understand the offense. Section 499 talks about defamation, which says, whoever by words either spoken or intended to be read or by signs or visible representation makes or publishes any imputation concerning any person intending to harm or knowing or having reasons to believe that such imputation will harm the reputation of such person is said to have caused the defamation of a person. Let's first understand up to this point. It says that in order to defame a person, there shall be either words, it may be spoken, or it may be some kind of sign or a visual representation. So if a person does any of such thing, or he makes or publishes any imputation, so that where the concerning party is a particular person and the intention behind doing these kind of acts is to harm particular person, by doing such act or having reasons to believe that such kind of imputation will harm the reputation of such person. So the motive was to harm the reputation of such person. Then if that person does so with such kind of intention, then that person will be said to have committed an offense of defamation. Now there are some explanations. Explanation 1 says it may amount to defamation to impute anything to a deceased person. So not only living persons are covered under this section, also if anyone makes any imputation against a deceased person, a person who is not alive, that will also amount to defamation, if such imputation harms the reputation of that person if living. So if that person was living, then such imputation would have harmed his reputation. So after he has died, that will also be counted under this section. Or if it is intended to be hurtful for the feelings of his family or his near relatives. So these things are covered under the offense. Now explanation 2 says it may amount to defamation to make an imputation concerning a company or an association or collection of persons as such. So all the groups or associations or any kind of such gathering of people or collective amount of people, they are also covered under this section. Explanation 3 says an imputation in the form of an alternative or expressed ironically may amount to defamation. So if someone is ironically expressing or using any alternative method to impute, then that will also amount to defamation. Explanation 4 says no imputation is said to harm a person's reputation unless that imputation directly or indirectly in the estimation of others lowers the moral or intellectual character of that person. So if it lowers the intellectual character or moral character of that person, then that imputation will be said to be harmful for that person's reputation. Or if it lowers the character of that person in respect of his caste or of his calling, or if it lowers the credit of that person or causes it to be believed that such body of that person is in a loathsome state or in a state generally considered as disgraceful. Anything that disgraces that person or his character or his moral or his intellect, then that will be deemed to be an offense under this section. Now however, there are some exceptions. To be exact, there are 10 exceptions when the offense of defamation will not be attracted. So what are the exceptions? It says imputation of truth which public good requires to be made or published. So if it is done for public good, any imputation is made to discover the truth so that the public comes to know about such truth, and it is done for the betterment of public, that is for the public good, then it is not an offense of defamation under the first exception. Now the second exception says that public conduct of public servant does not amount to defamation. So if a public servant is discharging his public function, that is his duty, then it will be not counted as defamation under the second exception. The third exception says conduct of any person touching any public question will not be amounting to defamation. So it is not defamation to express in good faith any opinion whatever respecting the conduct of any person is touching any public question. So anyone making any statement for anything that is a public question or touching a public question, and he makes such statement in good faith just to put his opinion, then that will not amount to defamation. Also the fourth exception says that publication of reports of proceedings of court is not defamation under the fourth exception. The explanation says a justice of the peace or other officer holding an inquiry in an open court preliminary to a trial in a court of justice is a court within the meaning of this above section. Okay, so let's move on to the fifth exception, that is merits of case decided in court or conduct of witnesses and others concerned. So it is not defamation to express in good faith any opinion whatever respecting the merits of any case, civil or criminal, which has been decided by a court of justice, or respecting the conduct of any person as a party, witness or agent in such case. So a person may have those opinions that will not amount to defamation under the fifth exception. Now the sixth exception says merits of public performance are not defamation. So it is not defamation to express in good faith any opinion respecting the merits of any performance which its author has submitted to the judgment of the public. So if a person has created any artwork or has written any book or anything, and he is basically seeking the judgment of the public, and any person in good faith expresses his opinion respecting the merits of such performance, then that will not be amounting to defamation under the sixth exception. And if the character of the author appears in such performance, then a person can also comment on such character. Now the explanation says that a performance may be submitted to the judgment of the public expressly or by acts or the parts of such author which imply such submission to the judgment of the public. So as long as it is submitted for the judgment of the public, then it will be covered under the sixth exception. Now the seventh exception talks about censure passed in good faith by person having lawful authority over another. So it is not defamation in a person having over another any authority either conferred by law or arising out of a lawful contract made between them, to pass in good faith any censure on the conduct of that other in matters to which such lawful authority relates. So when a person is exercising his lawful authority to pass any censure in good faith against the conduct of such other person, then that will not amount to defamation under the seventh exception. Now the eighth exception talks about accusation preferred in good faith to authorize person. So it is not defamation to prefer in good faith an accusation against any person to any of those who have lawful authority over that person with respect to the subject matter of accusation. So if that person had any authority upon such subject matter for which such accusation has been made against the other person, and such accusation has been made in good faith, then as long as these criteria are fulfilled, they will not be deemed to be an offense of defamation under the eighth exception. Now the ninth exception talks about imputation made in good faith by person for protection of his or others' interest. So if a person is making any imputation in good faith respecting his own protection or others' interest, then that will not be deemed to be an offense under the ninth exception. Now the 10th exception, which is the last one of these exceptions, talks about caution intended for good of person to whom conveyed or for public good. So it is not defamation to convey a caution in good faith to one person against another. So if someone is awareing a person about a third person, and if that is done in good faith, then that will not amount to defamation if it is done for the person's interest or for public good. These exceptions declare that whenever a case falls in any one or more of these exceptions, that will not be deemed to be defamation. What are they? First, imputation of truth for public good. Second, public conduct of public servants. Third, conduct of any person touching any public question. Fourth, publication of reports of proceedings of court. Fifth, merits of a case decided in court. Sixth, merits of public performance. Seventh, censure passed in a good faith by a person having lawful authority over another. Eighth, accusation made in good faith to an authorized person. Ninth, imputation made in good faith by a person for protection of his or others' interest. And tenth, caution intended for public good. These are the exceptions and they are exhaustive in nature, and no grounds can be added to avoid the liability under Section 500 of IPC, which talks about punishment for defamation. Section 500 punishes a person for committing defamation with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine, or with both. Section 501 talks about printing or engraving matter known to be defamatory. So whoever knows that the matter is defamatory but still he prints or engraves such matter, then he will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine, or with both. And Section 502 talks about sale of printed or engraved substance containing defamatory matter. So whoever sells those printed or engraved substance that contains defamatory matter will be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine, or with both.
So that's all in this video. If you like my videos, then don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.